Greetings, Gospel fans. Welcome back to the Gospel According to John. Today, we're going to start out with Genesis chapter 20 and just see where we go from there. Alright, so Genesis 20. Here, let's grab the Bible. Thump. Genesis 20 starts out with some more silliness, something that really doesn't seem to have a whole lot to do with the plot, and maybe a different part of the story that isn't really supposed to be in this place. Abraham moves their camp to the land of the Negeb, between Kadesh and Shur, because I love maps, into the kingdom of King Abimelech. Same deal as when they went to Egypt.
Deja vu, huh, babe? You know the drill. Tell them all you're my sister.
This, of course, is a problem. Abimelech is sleeping, and he has a dream in which God comes to him and is like,
"Fuck you, Abimelech. You're as good as dead because of what you have brought upon your household."
So Abimelech confronts Abraham like,
"What the fuck, man? You said she was your sister. Any one of my men could have lain down with her and brought sin upon this land."
Abraham's like,
What I told you about is actually technically true. We are siblings through our father, Nahor.
so Abimelech's like, that's fucked up.
Well, whatever. In any case, your God showed me that you're some kind of prophet, so I'm gonna give you a bunch of sheep and cattle and give you your wife back. Just go live somewhere else, okay?
Abimelech took sheep, cattle, manservants, and maidservants and gave them to Abraham and returned his wife Sarah to him. There, Abraham, sets up camp and starts preaching about the one true God again. And then miraculously, all of Abimelech's wives and concubines and all the women of his family start having children again, because apparently they were barren up until this point, although it doesn't mention it until the very end of the chapter. And that's chapter 20. So, chapter 21. And God remembers the promise that he made to Abraham and Sarah, and Sarah becomes pregnant. Now, that seems a little odd. She just came out of Abimelech's household and now she's pregnant. The grace of God. Nothing to do with being kidnapped. Anyway, Sarah's pregnant, she brings it to term, has a healthy baby boy, and they name him Isaac. Just as God had foretold just before wiping out Sodom and Gomorrah, even though he said, I'll be back this time next year, and by then Sarah will have a son, but he's nowhere to be seen at this point.
That's right, I'm the original absentee landlord.
Abraham proceeds to circumcise Isaac on his 8th day of life to maintain the covenant. Isaac grows and starts tending his father's flocks.
Why does everyone always laugh when they hear my name? Isaac is no laughing matter.
Language joke, yeah. But at this point, Sarah gets very concerned in regards to the Egyptian slave girl Hagar and Ishmael and that whole previously mentioned liaison. And she's like,
Abraham, I don't want Ishmael to inherit all of our stuff. You must send him and his mother away.
Abraham isn't really too keen on this idea, but he receives a vision from God in a dream saying,
"Oh, don't worry about Isaac. I shall bless him and make him the father of many nations as well. He is, after all, your son."
So Abraham gets up early in the morning, he takes bread and a skin, a water bottle, and gives it to Hagar, and it's like, you guys gotta get the fuck out of here. So they went and wandered around toward Beersheba, and finally there was no more water, and she leaves Ishmael under a bush because she doesn't want to watch him die. But then, the angel of God shows up again and is like,
"Hey Hagar, I know things seem bad right now, but don't worry, the Lord will provide."
So God opens up a well of water and gives them water to drink. Ishmael grows up and is dwelling in the wilderness. He becomes an archer, and they're living in the Paran desert, and Hagar secures an Egyptian wife for him. And then we don't hear anything about them anymore. We switch back to Abimelech, his chief assistant, a guy by the name of Phicol. What a shitty name. So Abimelech's worried because Abraham's people are prospering and being very fruitful. And so the men of King Abimelech and the men of Abraham are now fighting over wells, and Abimelech's men keep stopping up the wells that Abraham's using, and so he keeps going to different places, digging another well, and digging another well, and digging another well. Finally, Abraham takes sheep and cattle and gives them to Abimelech. Both of them make an agreement. Abraham sets 7 female lambs of the flock out by themselves, and Abimelech is like,
I noticed you have 7 female sheep set aside. What's up with that?
Abraham's like,
You will accept these 7 lambs that I am giving you. They are witness that I dug this well.
that's why we call it Beersheba. Wasn't it already called Beersheba? Abimelech and Phicol witnessed this whole thing, and they returned to the land of the Philistines. Abimelech's the king of Gerar. Anyway, so they agree not to molest that particular well. And pointless scene number 2, chapter 22. So Isaac's growing up. He's probably 11 or 12 at this point, and Abraham loves his son dearly. And so one day, he receives a vision from God, and God says,
Ye shall go to the land of Moriah, to the summit of Mount Moriah, whereupon ye shall sacrifice your beloved son unto me.
So they're walking up the mountain, and Abraham makes his son carry the kindling for the fire. So they're hiking up the mountain, and Isaac turns to his dad and is like,
Hey Dad, I see the kindling for the sacrifice, but where's the lamb?
Abraham's like,
Fear not, my son. God will provide the lamb.
is he straight up lying to his son, or does he actually believe that? Either way, they get to the summit of Mount Moriah, and Abraham binds his son hand and foot and places the boy on the altar. So then Abraham puts out his hand and takes his knife to kill his son. But God sends an angel to stop him at the very last minute.
Whoa, hold on a second, don't kill the boy, okay, we get it, you're faithful to God, cool.
Which, of course, in an omnipotent being, he would have no reason to confirm that. Much relieved, Abraham looks up and sees a ram with its horns caught in a thicket over yonder.
Oh, well, you know, God did provide the lamb.
And they offer that up as a sacrifice instead. And so the angel's like, It is the word of God that because you have not withheld your only son, not his only son,
Your seed will be as numerous as the stars in the sky, and all nations on earth will bless themselves because of you.
you were willing to kill your son for me. And because of that, the whole world shall be blessed. But first, there must be lots of mass genocide.
Because I love you.
After that, Abraham returns to his attendants. They get up and go on their way together to Beersheba. And he continues to dwell in Beersheba and apparently doesn't run into Hagar or Ishmael this whole time, even though they're living there too. Continuity, people. Let's have some goddamn continuity. Round that chapter out with a little bit more pointless begetting. Next time we get to see what Abraham does with his wife's body when she dies. Hope you had fun. This has been the Gospel According to John. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you later.